So now we are reacting to Alex Jones in CNN between Alex Jones and Piers Morgan. So if you want to let me know if you wanted me to react to another type of video or anything, please leave it in the comment section and I will react to those videos, guys. So before we get into it, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also hit the share button to grow the channel, guys. So here we go. Get this shows on the road.
Anyone who's watched this show over the past few weeks knows I've taken a pretty strong stand on guns in America. It's not escaped the notice.
And if you haven't noticed, if you didn't know that, yeah, Piers Morgan worked for CNN. You've
Supporters of gun rights, and it's led to a petition on the White House official website, no less. It's entitled, and I quote, "Deport British citizen Piers Morgan for attacking Second Amendment." Take a look. More than 104,000 people have signed it so far. And joining me now is one of the people behind the petition, Alex Jones. He's host of the Alex Jones Show. Welcome to you.
Piers, thanks for having me.
Why do you want to deport me?
Well, we did it as
oh, there it was a petition to deport Piers Morgan for real. Oh shit, I didn't know that. That's what people were demanding for this guy to leave.
Signed it so far. And joining me now is one of the people behind the petition, Alex Jones. He's host of the Alex
140, 100,000 plus votes. I mean, a petition. I mean, signatures to send this guy back to wherever he came
Piers,
from.
thanks for having me.
Why do you want to deport me?
Well, we did it as a way to bring attention to the fact that we have all of these foreigners and the Russian government, the official Chinese government. Mao said political power goes out of the barrel of a gun. He killed about 80 million people because he's the only guy that had the guns. So we did it to point out that this is globalism and the mega banks that control the planet and brag that they've taken over in Bloomberg, AP, Reuters, you name it, brag that they're going to get our guns.
If you know what globalism is, it's like it's the people that believe in one world order, or like they want to create a one world government, a one world order, one world government, one world everything. You hear these the Council on Foreign Relations. You hear about the EU. You hear about the UN. You hear about the NATO, already small little one world governments, and you hear all these other secret organizations. But that's what globalism is.
As well, they've taken everybody's guns but the Swiss and the American people. And when they get our guns, they can have their world tyranny while the government buys 1.6 billion bullets, armored vehicles, tanks, helicopters, Predator drones, armed, now in U.S.
And why is the government buying bullets if they're not safe? If they want to disarm us, why would they need bullets? Oh, aren't they promoting that guns are not safe, they're harmful, they kill? So why would the government needs to buy bullets?
And when they get our guns, they can have their world tyranny while the government buys 1.6 billion bullets, armored vehicles, tanks, helicopters, Predator drones, armed, now in U.S. skies, being used to arrest.
Yeah, some people don't notice, and I have heard about this, where if the government has a tank, you can own a tank. If the government has this, you can own that because you have the right to bear arms. And then if you want to get a tank, you can get a tank because if the government can have a tank, you can have a tank because you need to defend yourself against a tyrannical government. So you can have a tank for that. You need an RP rocket launcher, you can have a rocket launcher, and it's gonna go so on and so forth. So if whatever the government has as an arms to against the people, then you can have that as well against the government.
People in North Dakota. The Second Amendment isn't there for duck hunting. It's there to protect us from tyrannical government and street thugs. Take the women in India. Your piece earlier on.
Oh yeah, then when they talk about the AR-15, the AR-15 is not a weapon of war. That people don't use. Though people don't. Our soldiers don't use an AR-15. They used to use an M16 or something that's automatic, an automatic, and an AR-15 is semi-automatic. Well, that's what the media pushes out, and Democrats and leftists push out that AR-15 stands for assault rifle when it doesn't stand for assault rifle. It does not. It's a semi-automatic. So if you would use this in war, you will lose because it's not an automatic. You, our military needs to have the best equipment, which is fully automatic weapon, a fully automatic gun. So they don't use an AR-15, and it's not a weapon of war because you don't see our troops use an AR-15 in war.
I was watching during Anderson Cooper's show. Didn't tell you that the women of India have signed giant petitions to get firearms because the police can't and won't protect them. The answer is, hey, wait a minute. I have FBI crime statistics that come out a year late, 2011. 20+%.
This guy came, Alex Jones came prepared with his facts and statistics.
Because the police can't and won't protect them. The answer is, hey, wait a minute. I have FBI crime statistics that come out a year late, 2011. 20+% crime drop in the last 9 years. Real violent crime because more guns means less crime. Britain took the guns 15, 16 years ago, tripling of your overall violent crime. True, we have.
That's where he's from. That's where he's from. So Britain already took the gun. He already said that all these other countries have taken the guns except for the Swedish and the Americans. The Americans don't have. The only two countries. The Swedes and the Americans are the only two countries that have the rights to have the rights to bear arms. I just noticed that. What we just heard what happened with like a couple of weeks ago or so on that Japan doesn't have the right to bear arms. They don't have guns. A lot of countries don't have guns. They don't have the rights that we have, which is the Second Amendment, which is the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. No matter what comes in, no matter what the UN says, our supreme law of the land will always be the Constitution. And what's in the Constitution is the Bill of Rights. And all of those rights were given by God, not by man, but by God, by our Creator, to give the rights to the people. Those are inalienable rights.
A higher gun violence level, but overall mugging, stabbings, deaths. Those men raped that woman in India to death with an iron rod 4 feet long. You can't ban the iron rods. The gun.
Not the tool, man. It is not the tool that kills the people. I mean, it's not the tool. It's the person that's using the tool. So, like, you can kill somebody with a freaking fork. You're gonna blame the fork. You're gonna ban forks. You're gonna ban spoons. You're gonna ban anything that anybody uses to kill. You can ban fists. What if somebody kills somebody with their bare hands? You can ban fist. You can ban hands.
Guns, the iron rods, Pierce, didn't do it. The tyrants did it. Hitler took the guns. Stalin took the guns. Mao took the guns. Fidel Castro took the guns. Hugo Chavez took the guns. And I'm here to tell you, 17.
All those countries that he named, like China. You got Mao's China. You got Fidel's Cuba. You got now Venezuela. You got other countries that took the guns, and now their citizens are being tortured or are either tortured or starved to death. You got North Korea. You got all these other countries that took the guns, that took them from the people, and now they're suffering under tyrannical governments. First, they start off by taking away your guns, and then the next government is even worse, and they start terrorizing the citizens of their country.
1976 will commence again if you try to take. Stalin took the guns. Mao took the guns. Fidel Castro took the guns. Hugo Chavez took the guns. And I'm here to tell you, 1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms. Doesn't matter how many lemmings you get out there on the street begging for them to have their guns taken. We will not relinquish them. Do you understand? That's why you're going to fail, and the establishment knows no matter how much propaganda, the Republic will rise again when you attempt to take our guns. My family in the Texas Revolution against Santa Anna, my family was at the core on both sides starting that. Propaganda lemmings you get out there on the street begging for them to have their guns taken.
That when they say, "Oh, it's for the good of you," like trying to indoctrinate the youth and giving up their rights. It's like the way to control and to change and defeat a great nation is through from within. So you change the education system and you make people believe that guns are bad through school shootings, through other means. Like we have a lot. You show this. They show us statistics where there's a lot of high gun deaths, and it's They always call it gun deaths, but they don't call it, oh, well, it's human death. People are killing other people, and it's not because of the tool, it's because people are crazy. Some people are crazy.
We will not relinquish them. Do you understand? And that's why you're going to fail, and the establishment knows no matter how much propaganda, the Republic will rise again when you attempt to take our guns. My family in the Texas Revolution against Santa Anna, my family was at the core on both sides starting that because Santa Anna came to take the guns at Gonzales, Texas. Pierce, don't try what your ancestors did before. Why don't you come to America? I'll take you out shooting. You can become an American and join the Republic.
You finished?
Yes, I am finished.
Like, he didn't take anything in. Like, you done? Yeah, thank you, but you're done? I'm not going to take anything what you say. I'm not. I'm not. I don't care what you think.
This revolution against Santa Anna. My family was at the core on both sides starting that because Santa Anna came to take the guns at Gonzales, Texas. Pierce, don't try what your ancestors did before. Why don't you come to America? I'll take you out shooting. You can become an American.
That's what, when he talked about propaganda, he said propaganda, hey, stop making it seem like guns are bad, and now the people are trying to get rid of their guns because guns are bad, and that guns only belong in the side of the government.
And join the Republic.
You finished?
Yes, I am finished. You will not take my right. You go through background checks to get guns. How about Prozac? You know the number one. Oh, that's the big sponsor, isn't it? Or that whole class of drugs.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh, whoa, got to cut that off, don't you? Don't want to talk about the U.S. number one cause of death is suicide now because they give people suicide murder pills.
Calm down.
Your answer is give more money to the psychiatrists and psychologists to put more crazy people on drugs that make them kill people, Pierce.
Let's try and have a debate here.
Yeah.
Answer me this question.
I'm sick of the same old script here, bud.
It's fine, bud. How many gun murders were there in America last year? Do you know?
There were about 11,458 and about 74.
Dude, he just said it's not the guns. It's not the guns. It's not the tool. He just brings it up. How many guns is? How many guns? Not the, who cares what they use? Who cares if it's a gun? What if they started using knives to kill people? And you say, oh, well, let me tell you about the knives. Let's get rid of knives. It's not the tool, man. It's the people. And like you said, sometimes people are in psychotropic drugs or taking drugs from the big pharma and other things, man.
Same old script here, bud.
It's fine, bud. How many gun murders were there in America last year? Do you know?
There were about 11,458, and about 74% of those were gang-related, gangbangers shooting each other. You get 3,500 to 4,000.
That wasn't the
How
question.
many people died from infections in hospitals? 197,000.
Let me just ask you a second
That's
question.
right.
How many gun murders were there in Britain
How
last
many
year?
great white sharks
No, how many
kill
gun
people
murders?
every year, but they're scared to swim?
Talking about other statistics, but they don't want to bring it up. Of course, you don't want. Oh, he talked about hospital death by infection. How many people died there? And he brings up statistics, and people still go to the hospitals. What about sharks? People still go swim.
197,000.
Let me just ask you a second
That's
question.
right.
How many gun murders were there in Britain
How
last
many
year?
great white sharks
No, how many
kill
gun
people
murders?
every year, but they're scared to swim?
Right. How many gun murders were there in Britain
A
last year?
very low amount. I already went over those
How many?
statistics.
Do you know?
It was only a few hundred.
No. How many gun murders?
I actually did pull up the statistics. Here, let me pull them out right here. I figured you'd do that.
Gun murders
Oh,
in
wait.
Britain last
UK
year.
violent crime, capital of Europe. London Telegraph. Here, let me
It's
give you
quite
more.
a simple question.
Well, that's the oldest.
You're a very loud man.
No, that's the
You
oldest
make a
Perry
lot of
Mason
noise.
tactic to ask me some little factoid.
It's not a little fact.
I already said earlier,
We're talking about
England
a
has a
country.
lot lower
Let
gun
me try-
crime rate because you
let me-
took all the guns.
Let me try exactly
But
my
you've
point.
got hordes of people burning down cities and beating old women's brains out every day.
What a ridiculous
They arrest
statement.
people in England if they defend themselves. That's on record. My God, you have got a total police state. Everybody's fleeing that country because you've had to flee here, bud. And I want to say this right here. You think you're a tough guy? Have me back with a boxing ring in here, and I'll wear red, white, and blue, and you can wear your Jolly Roger.
Okay.
You know what?
Let's try again. How many gun murders were there
Oh, you're going to ban your fist now?
in Britain last year?
How many chimpanzees can dance on the head of a pin? I already went over those statistics.
Do you know the answer?
No, I don't.
You said hundreds.
It's very low.
You said hundreds.
Yes.
It's actually 35.
Well, the point is, you can
against 11,000. Do you understand the difference between 11,000?
Yeah, England
and
wants
35?
to ban knives now because tens of thousands are getting stabbed.
Right. But do you understand
ban
the
knives?
difference?
The knife doesn't kill people.
Do you understand?
The gun doesn't kill people.
Yes.
Listen,
do you understand?
You understand that we took our guns and now people are not dying from guns? And now you're gonna ban? See, they're already banning knives. There's because of stabbings.
England
and
wants
35.
to ban knives now because tens of thousands are getting stabbed.
But do you understand
ban
the
knives?
difference?
The knife doesn't kill people.
Yeah, the knife doesn't kill people. It's the people that kill people.
Do you
The gun doesn't kill people.
Yes.
Listen,
do
you understand
between
you're not going to pull on America's
11,
heartstrings. They know your script, okay? You're not going to get our guns. By the way, you guys always say, we just want to take the semi-autos, okay, and all this other stuff. When semi-autos aren't even, rifles aren't even used but in a fraction of the crimes, you can pull those numbers up, okay? No, hold on.
Let me ask you one question. Which weapon was predominantly used in the Aurora movie theater shooting?
Of course, use the ones that are in the news media. The AR-15, the semi-automatic. Oh, they tell you a word that not a lot of people know what that means, which is a semi-automatic. It has automatic in there. They believe, oh, you pull the trigger, it goes da 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 da, and that's not true. It goes. You got a fully automatic. It goes. That's the one that you want to be afraid of. But it's not the gun. It's not the tool. It's not what people use to kill people. It's the person behind the tool. The person that has the tool on their hand. The person that has the gun on their hand. The person that has the knife on their hand. The person that has the freaking rod on their hand. Not the damn tool, man. It's not the damn item that they have. It's something that they're using to kill. That's all they're doing is using it. Not their fault. It's the people that are using it.
Shooting.
M4 AR-15 variants.
So it was a semi-automatic
yes,
assault rifle.
Again,
okay,
but statistically, it's very, very low.
Do you agree it was the single biggest shooting in the history of America in terms of people hit by a shooter? Do you know that?
No, I believe that there were others. There's been some other shootings with about over 30.
No, this was the single biggest mass.
Like, no. This is the most important one. This is the most. No. I think there was more, but no. This one was.
People hit by a shooter. Do you know that?
No, I believe that there were others. There's been some other shootings with about over 30.
No, this was the single biggest mass shooting.
Well, listen, you're just going. No, there have been bombings of Wall Street.
Let me ask you a second.
Are we going to listen? Why can't the pilots have firearms?
Alex,
we trust them to fly the planes.
Alex, you've had a lot to say.
No, my point is the Second Amendment is sacrosanct, and you're not getting it.
Do you know which weapon was used in the Oregon shopping mall mass shooting recently?
I understand that people who are mentally ill on all the serotonin reuptake inhibitors who play these shoot-'em-up games want to go out and do this. Because there's criminals, I don't lose my rights, Piers. Because there's criminals, I don't lose my rights.
Just answer the question.
Yeah.
Do you know what the weapon used was?
Listen, let me ask you a question.
No, answer.
I've got the FBI statistics that, that these so-called semi-autos that you talk about.
Let's take a break. When we come back.
Again, you're not going to get our guns.
When we come back, try and answer my question.
Yeah, all you're going to do is sit there and play little factoid questions. Overall crime's gone up over 20%.
Oh, man. All right. Yeah, you're never going to get a...
Six classics, six boneless,
he's like right. You're not going to get anything from that. He's never going to get anything from there. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. He wasn't listening. He was listening. Thank you, guys. I hope you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the bell. It's crazy. They won't listen. The media doesn't listen. They want to talk about, oh, what gun was this? What gun did they use? They want to talk about the big ones, the big shootings. Stupid, man. Stupid.